right, sizzling smokers. Glad you're here for a legendary recipe. In 5 years, when you look up Escargot recipes on YouTube, this is going to be number one. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be in restaurants. It's going to be legendary because it's that good and nobody does it. When you do escargots or look it up on recipes, what do you see? Nothing but escargot and butter. That's the French way. We're doing it the Canadian way, the American way. Avery Island Escargots. Simple. Out of a can. Can you believe it? Let's get set up. Alright, let's get started on this soon-to-be classic recipe. It's my own recipe. Been doing it for a couple years. Sunday, you crack a nice cold beer. You have some escargot. And I know what you're thinking. I don't eat those. Or if you do, it's like once every couple of years with some mushroom caps at a steakhouse. This is a must-do recipe. And it's going to be so easy. Let's get it started. And first we're going to cut up a nice white onion. Let's talk a bit about this recipe, how simple it is, and the amazing taste that you get out of it for just a few ingredients. So we have 2 jalapenos, 1 white onion, 2 cans of escargot, concentrated chicken stock, and our baguette. Slice this baguette and toast it in the oven. So for most escargot recipes, it's really just about the butter. It's like lobster. You just soak it in the butter, and that's all people do. They put on a mushroom cap, maybe add some cheese. Well, we're going to Alright, chefs, we're back. We have our garlic, which is just so beautifully, it's not even minced, smoothed out garlic. We saw it on the close-up cam. We have our onions, we have our jalapenos. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter to our pan. Toss in our onions. This is such a quick recipe, but I mean, if you have your own restaurant out there, or you're a chef, you have your own menu, I expect to see this on there shortly. Avery Island Escargots. There's nothing better than taking something that hardly anybody eats and blowing away your customers with it. Adding our garlic and our jalapenos. Now the smoke from the jalapenos gets you right in the lungs. So you'll be cooking with your exhaust fan going, so don't worry about it. But try not to take any huge breaths. Oh. Beautiful. So we're going to cook that down and open up, this is a 1-can recipe. We're going to open up our can of escargot. I just want to show you one quick tip with escargot in a can. Give it a nice rinse. Just to get any sand or whatever else could be in there. Now the other ingredient that we use while cooking at high heat here, so if it starts sticking to the pan, we have our Campbell's concentrated chicken stock. Look at that. Woo. And don't mess with any of these. Don't mess with any of these ingredients. It has to be exactly this. I never say that, but this has to be exact. You want this Campbell's concentrate. You want your jalapeno ratio, your onion. Escargots, you just whatever you can find in a can. And I'm going to put them in now and let this all cook at the same time. Alright, we're going to hit the close-up cam. Alright, the sizzle and smoke close-up cam. You can see we have the onions just starting to get a little brown on them. The escargots mixed in nicely. These are small escargot. We're not getting those jumbos. Now's the time where you can hit it with a little bit of pepper. We're not going to put in our Avery Island Tabasco here yet. Like I said, if the bottom starts getting a little sticky, hit it with that stock. And let that stock reduce down. Now, nobody really needs to be showing this. You know how to cut a baguette. But when you're about halfway done, get out your baguette, cut it into some bite-sized slices. This one is actually almost too fresh. If it's like a day old, it's easier to cut. But this is still going to work fine. So I'll work my way through that. But cut your baguette. Take some cooking spray. Give them a little spray and put them in your oven underneath the broiler. Cook them like toast. And don't move away. Keep an eye on them because they suddenly turn fast like that. And my broiler's on high. It's a great step. The fresh bread, the baguette works perfectly. But I notice here we need a little bit more of our stock. Oh, beautiful. That's right, the last bit of the concentrate I'm going to add. You want to really Now is the time to add your Avery Island Tabasco sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots. You can do that according to taste. And you can always add more. If you cook it up and it's not spicy enough, always add more. My mouth is like watering because this is so good. Oh. I'm going to take you on the close-up cam because all you have to see is that the chicken stock cooks off. Keep an eye on your baguettes. Wait till that stock cooks off so it just starts to thicken a little. The onions are cooked, the jalapenos are cooked, the escargot's cooked, and this is honestly one of my favorite dishes in the whole world. You crack a nice beer, sit down on a Sunday, and dig into these. It'll become a family tradition. Trust me, it is for my family. Okay, let's hit the close-up cam and then come back to put it all together. God, I'm trying to talk. All right, sizzle and smoke close-up cam. Look at that, just a bubbling. In the bottom of the pan's got some crispy bits on there. The onions. Oh, that's beautiful. We can actually cut the heat on that and go to the plate. Maybe you don't even know what it is. It's escargots. Avery Island Escargots. I made up the name. If you're going to make them for your restaurant, use that name, please. Avery Island Escargot. The perfect thing to have on a Sunday. Crack yourself a beautiful beer and sit down and dig into this just lusciousness. If you don't like escargot or have only had them in butter like 99.9% of people have. Stay tuned. Watch this video because you're going to be converted. Let's make this the #1 escargot recipe on YouTube. It shouldn't be too hard because they're all the same, but this is unique. So let's get to it.